You guys, so before I actually film this video, I'm gonna show you how many eyeshadow palettes I have in here with me right now, because I feel like I just shopped my collection just to show you how many pens I've hit in on. So yeah, bye. Hi guys, I'm back. Welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how many pens I've hit for this year. I know it's just December 15 when I'm filming this, but I just know that I'm not gonna hit pen on the rest of the days because I am actually using some of my newer eyeshadow palettes, and there's just no way I'm gonna hit pen on those. And I actually using like the blushes and the highlighters that I've already hit pen on, that not on my project pen, so just there's no way I'm gonna hit pen on more things. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this today, and after this video, I'm gonna show you guys the uses I have of each palette that I own. It's like a summary for my No Pan Left Behind, but since the database or the Excel sheet that I was trying to prepare to share with you guys, like the tracking system I have for my palette usage is not yet quite done. I'm just gonna do this first because I don't want to upload a video and then the tracking is still not there, because that's just really confusing for you guys. Okay, so by the way, on my eyelids right now, I am wearing this Cheery Up the All Shimmer eyeshadow palette that I've swatched 3 months ago. So I'm actually wearing this today on my eyelids. On the pan, it actually looks like it's a dark gray. It's a dark gray with blue glitters. And then on my inner corner, I just use this like this white gold purple kind of shifty eyeshadow. I don't know if my camera is doing justice, but yeah, that's what I am wearing on my eyes today. If you see me looking down, I am looking down on my laptop so that I won't miss anything. Okay, so I'm actually gonna start with a few items that are not eyeshadows, because majority of these products are eyeshadows. I do No Plan Left Behind, and I do those eyeshadows. So the first one I'm gonna show you guys is this one. This is the Focallure Blur Matte Powder Foundation in the shade CL02. So I actually bought this one this year, but for some reason I haven't shown you guys or did a haul or review. But I started using this way back in June, I think, and then by December I've already finished this one. So it's not actually a hit pen, it's an empty, but just want to show you guys I used up this powder. It's not really a foundation, I think it's just like a really sheer kind of a tint, like a powder tint. It doesn't really provide any coverage. It's more of like a setting powder. Then the next one I have in here, I'm just gonna show you quickly. This is the Essence Sun, Sand, and Golden Rainbow. So you've already seen this on my project pans. There she is. I've hit pen on this. I will continue using this one by January. I just lost my project pen for the month of December because I want to use other stuff in my collection. And then the next one I have in here, this is the Madison Miller in collaboration with Ofra. So this is like her Midi face palette, and this year I've actually hit pen on this this highlighter. This is like a not really same metallic-y, but it's one of those highlighters that's just like in your face. This one is more of a sheer, but I think I've hit pen on this last year, but this year I've hit pen on this one. Then the last non-eyeshadow item I have in here is this one from Squad. Squad is a Filipino brand, And I've hit in on this blush. So I will work on this on my project pen, I think on my first cycle. And then I've hit pen on this, so I proceeded to my other eyeshadow palette. So yeah, those are the non-eyeshadow items, and now we're gonna proceed to the eyeshadow items. So guys, I'm back, and if I'm slightly in a different angle, I actually paused my recording because my boyfriend called me and I have to talk to him. Then I have to reset the phone and everything. So if it's on a different angle, that's why. Okay, so I'm now going to proceed to the eyeshadow I've hit pin on for the year of 2025. This is not going to be on a like chronological order, but yeah, I'm actually just gonna go through each palette. So this is the More Time to Shine palette, and I've hit in on two shadows in here. So this is the shade Spiced and Shine Bright. So here they are. Um, this one is more of like a glittery topper, and then this one is like your proper shimmer. So for usage, I'm just gonna put them on the other video, so it won't be redundant. Okay, next palette I have in here is the Etude Cashmere Mauve palette. So this palette is no longer available. It's a limited edition, and I got this one way back in 2023. So this one I've hit pin on this like a it's also like a glittery topper, but it's eyeshadow, not pressed glitters. So this is her. I just use this on my inner corners to highlight them. That's why I've hit pin on this one. And then the next one I have in here is this again from a local brand. When I say local brand, it's a Filipino brand. This is the Egyptian Desert palette. So in this palette, I've hit pin on this shade called Oasis, and yeah, it's like a shimmery green, brown, shifty shadow. And then on the next one, this is a large eyeshadow palette. So this is the BH Cosmetics The Zodiac palette. So on this palette, I've hit pan on three. Yeah. Oh, I know. Sorry, two. So it's the Capricorn matte. Wait. Oh. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Just one. Just one. So this one I've hit pan on this matte like an olivey green shadow, and the two in here, the Aquarius shadows, I've hit pan on them last year. So in this palette I've only hit pan one shadow. Next palette I have in here is I think it's a C Beauty brand, but the palette is no longer available, so this is I'm just not gonna pronounce. So this palette I have a one pen in here. So again, this one is from my pen, those eyeshadows, and it's one of those shadows that I just used on my inner corners. And then the next one from the same brand, I think they are from like the same collection, like Day of the Dead inspired collection. So this one is the purple palette. So in this palette, I have two hit pins. This palette was like was included in No Pen Left Behind, and then after that I rolled in this palette two times. That's why there's like two pins on these matte shadows. And then the next one, I think this is one of the most used eyeshadow palette this year, because I've rolled in this palette like two times also. So this is the You Can Be Rose palette, and on this palette for this year I've hit in on three eyeshadow. So the first one I have here is this shimmery, like a snow white kind of shadow, and then this one is like a shimmer, like a gunmetal shade, and then the last one in here is this one. This is a like a matte gray, light gray kind of shadow. So I think these two in here are my and those eyeshadows candidates, and this one is a bonus pen because again, I love to use like a beigey white kind of shimmer shadow on my inner corners. That's why I'm hitting pan on a lot of this shade. Then the next palette I have in here, this is the Zeesea Crystal Skull palette. So I think this palette, I rolled in this one for my and those eyeshadows. So I've hit in on this pink shimmer shadow, and this one, this is a pressed glitter shadow. I hit in on this not because I've used it, but because I was swatching this one, and yeah, that's why I've hit in on that pressed glitter shade. And then the next one I have in here, this is the Focallure Ever Changing palette. I think this is some sort of their rendition for the Kylie Cosmetics the summer palette, like way back, I think 2017 or 2018. But yeah, I think for this year I've hit pan on 3 eyeshadows in here. The first 2 are these ones. I think this one is from my Panels eyeshadows, and then this one I think is a bonus pan. And then this one I've actually hit pan on this year, and this one I've hit pan on that last year, so it's not counted. So for this palette, hit pan on 3 eyeshadows. So next palette is the Royal Affair by BH Cosmetics. This palette was rolled in 2 times for this year, and I've hit pan on 2 eyeshadows. So first one I have in here is the shade Majesty. It's a matte warm brown, and then the next one is this brown. It's a shimmer white, but it has a blue shift, and it's very, very pretty on the inner corners. The next palette, this is the IMAGIC High Heels palette, and it's very, very inspired by the Melt, what's that, Gemini palette, but this palette has different tones and shades, but the concept, I mean, like, the color inspiration is definitely the Melt Gemini palette. And I think for this year I've hit in on the shade Desire. This palette is included in my notepad left behind, and these 2 I've hit in on them, I think like 2 years ago. And then the next one is this Moira Magic Dreaming palette. I think this palette is still available, I'm not sure, but this palette has rolled in like, I don't know, it has rolled in 1 time, but I worked on this like 2 consecutive months. So the first one is this like a shimmer pastel green, and the matte like pastel green. I've hit pan on this. Oh no, actually this is a Pandos eyeshadows item as well. So these 2 are Pandos eyeshadows, and that's why I've worked on this for like 2 consecutive months. And then the next one I have in here, this is the You Can Be Magic Spell palette. And I forgot to remove the sleeve. So this is a Pandos eyeshadows item. So I've hit pan on 1 shade. This is the shimmer pink shadow, which I worked on way back in October, I think. And then the next palette, this is one of the most used palettes for this year. So this is the Beauty Glazed Color Flame palette, and I've worked on this for like 2 or 3 consecutive months. And I've worked on my Pandos eyeshadows, this matte purple. This is the shade Prune, and I've hit pan on that as well. And then the 2 in here, I've hit pan these two I've hit pan on them, I think, last year. Okay, so next one I have in here is this is the Colourpop in collaboration with Kathleen Lines. This is the Zodiac palette. So this palette is from my Pandos eyeshadows, and I was actually working on, I think, what was I working on? Yeah, I think the Taurus shadow, but I did not hit pan on this, but I've hit pan on the shade Decanter. This is a shimmer, like a pink beige kind of eyeshadow. This is a bonus pan. When I rolled in this palette last year, this shadow actually already has a like a dip in there. That's why I've hit pan on this very quickly. Then next one is the Focallure Sunset Palette. I was working on the Shadow Poison on my Pando's eyeshadows, and I've hit pan on this. The pan is not visible, but yeah, I've hit pan on that. The next shadow came from this this is another CBD brand which I cannot pronounce, but it's the Milky Way palette, and I was working on this shade Allure. It's a matte with glitters, like a lilac-y kind of shadow, and these two hit pins, I've hit pan on them like years back. So on this palette, I just hit pan one shadow. Next one I have in here is the Focallure Perth palette. I know this one I hit pan it this year because this was on my Pando's eyeshadows, I think. And so this was on my Pando's eyeshadows, and for this year I've actually hit pan in the shade of Lava. It's a shifty shadow, like a brown, blue, purple kind of shifty shadow. Did I hit pan on Shrimp this year? Oh no, I think not. So yeah, I just hit pan on this one, and then this one I think I've hit pan on this last year, and this one like I think last year also. Then the next shadow came from this Beauty Glazed Silver Mist palette, and on this palette I've hit pan on the second shade. This shadow is from my Pando's eyeshadows. So yeah, as you can see, the pan is pretty shallow. That's why I've hit pan on this very quickly also. Alright, so next one is from the O.TWO.O Pink Taro Pink Purple palette. So again, this is another seaweed brand, and I think this palette is from my my Nobel Left Behind, and I've hit pan on this eyeshadow. This is shimmer, kind of like a rose gold. It's like a pinky brown kind of shade. And next palette I have in here, this is the You Can Be Taro Milky palette. As you can see, it looks so used. The name of the palette is already fading, and this palette, I was working on this for like I think 3 consecutive ones or 2, because I've hit pan on 3 shadows in here. So the first one is again beige shimmer highlight inner corner type of shade, and then the next one I have in here is another beige eyeshadow, but this one is more of a metallic finish, and then this one is a matte muted pink with glitters, and yeah, this palette is one of my most used for this year. Then the next one I have in here is the Pink Flash Cranberry Cookies palette. And on this palette, I've hit pan on one eyeshadow. I think this one is from my Pando's eyeshadows. The next one I have in here is a Perfect Diary, the Red Fox palette. And on this palette, I've hit pan on one shadow this year. So I've hit pan on this shimmer, like orange kind of eyeshadow. And this one is from my Pando's eyeshadows. And this one, I've covered the the pan, but I've hit pan on that last year. The next one I have in here is the Zeesea Rainbow Wings palette. So in this palette, I've hit pan on 2 eyeshadows. This one is like a flaky, shifty, like a pink, purple, blue kind of shadow. And then this is the blue metallic shadow. Both of these are from my Pando's eyeshadows. Okay, so I have my last stack in here. So next one is the Color 16 palette. This is like a dupe palette for the Cheery Up Ambition palette, but this one, the quality in here really sucks. But I brought in a shadow in here for my Pando's eyeshadows, and I've hit pan on this blue, like a light sky blue kind of eyeshadow. I don't know if you can see the pan, but it's in there, and the quality of the shadows in here really sucks. So I'm not sure if I want to declutter that shadow or not. I mean the palette or not. Next one is the Pupar palette. This is the Ombretti palette, and on this palette, I've worked on this like matte white shadow. As you can see, I've hit pin on this, and this was on my candle eyeshadows for the month of November. Next one is the Beauty Glazed Brownie Chocolate palette. On this palette, again, it's one of those inspired by the Huda Beauty. And on this palette, I've hit pan on two eyeshadows. I was working on this one, I think, for pan those eyeshadows, and I think this one is a bonus pan. So in total, I have two pans on this eyeshadow palette. Next one is another Beauty Glazed palette. So this one is a truffle chocolate palette. And on this palette, I've hit pan on one shadow. I was working on this for my Pandos eyeshadows. This shadow, I remember when I wrote in this, this eyeshadow, it already has a dip, and after one use, I've already hit pan on this. Because the formula of the shimmers on these palettes are more of that like putty-like consistency. They move around a lot in the pan. That's why I hit pan on the shimmers really fast. Then the last palettes I have in here are all from the Zeesea British Museum Alice in Wonderland line. So first one I have in here is the Chestnut palette. I was working on this palette, I think, way back August. So I was working on this matte, like chocolate brown kind of shadow, and this one is more of a glittery topper. It's a bonus pan, and I've also hit in on that. Okay, next palette from the same line is the Purple Plate palette. So in this palette, I've hit pin on this. Again, it's another shifty topper. This one looks white in the pan, but it has this purple pink kind of shiftiness going on. So I've hit pin on that as well because I was using this one a lot as a topper and as a highlight, like inner highlight shape. Oh my god, I cannot speak. And the last palette I have in here, this is the Zeesea Almond Chocolate. No, Almond Tea Party, not almond chocolate. So on my Pandos eyeshadows, I was working on the shadow, but I haven't hit pan on that. But I've hit on a bonus pan, so it's one of those matte, kind of like a brown shadow. So those are the eyeshadows I've hit pan for this year. Those are the fruits of my labor for my Pandos eyeshadows, and no pan left behind. And again, I don't usually get this amount, like 35 eyeshadows. I think maybe like even more than that. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna do like a counter on the side of the screen so the count is accurate. So yeah, this is a lengthy video, and I'm already tired from talking too much. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead now. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Take care. Bye, guys.